Okay. Around the world, move to your mat. Switch to one foot. Let's roll out our ankles. I've given up on wearing shoes because you really don't need them for this. So if you want to join me in barefootedness, be my guest. Switch feet. It's very windy today, and if you're anything like me, wind is a strange one because you know that it's technically not dangerous. Like nothing really bad has ever happened from a windstorm other than like, you know, a hurricane. Let's go ahead and do our little knee circles. But wind is just so off-putting when you hear it whistling through your house and you hear it like whipping around outside and it just shakes the trees. And like you realize that trees are trees grow and develop strength to withstand things like that. But it still is it's a little disconcerting when you see and hear what the wind does outside, and it just shakes everything and moves everything around. So if you're having a windy day too, my heart goes out to you. Okay. All right, step your feet hip distance apart. Let's do some skier breaths. Inhale. Exhale everything out. 9 more. 8 more. 7 more. 6 more. 5 more. 4 more. 3 more. 2 more. 1 more. Awesome. Some arm hugs. Swinging right over left, left over right. So just to recap, just keep doing what I'm doing. Just to recap, what we are doing through the month of June is over the course of our time together, we are completing 4 4-minute AMRAPs. So that means on a running clock, I keep track of the clock on my watch. I keep track of 4 minutes, and then together we do as many rounds or reps as possible. That's what AMRAP means. And so these are all 2 movement AMRAPs. One of these days I'll shake it up and maybe I'll add a 3 movement or something like that. But the point is for you to count the number of rounds that you accomplish and write it down. Write it in your phone, write it on a chalkboard, write it on a notebook. I've got my little notebook right here because it's fun to keep track of things because it allows you to keep track of your progress over time. And it gives you some motivation to compete with yourself, compete with past self, right? Because the best person to compete with is the person you were yesterday. Don't compete with someone else in this world. Don't compete with who you want to be tomorrow. Compete with the data from your past. Okay, step your feet nice and wide, big hip circles. Have some nice deep breaths here. Keep deepening the breath, inhaling nice and deep into the lungs. So the puppies are 5 weeks old on Wednesday. 5 weeks old on Wednesday, which means we're getting up to the moment when they can be separated from mama. If I haven't explained this to you, or if you've forgotten, they will all be up for adoption through WAGs and walks. So if you have enjoyed checking in on them through social media or through our weekly puppy stream here together in the 15 minutes preceding class, and if you have just fallen in love with one of them, or if you just want to meet some of them and learn more about this awesome organization, WAGs and Walks, it is an LA-based organization, and you can apply to either foster them or adopt them and give them a forever home. Okay, that's my pitch. All right, step it back to plank here. Have your shoulders over wrists, and let's just hang out in plank here for a few breaths, get nice and comfortable, fire up the core. Something I like to do in plank just to keep myself occupied and maybe also to do some double duty here is maybe to get some rolls forward and back, starting to mobilize those wrists, strengthening our forearms in that range of motion. All right. In 10 seconds, we're going to transition to side plank. All right. So 4, 3, 2, 1. Press one hand into the earth and reach the opposite hand up toward the sky. Really lift with the hips. So fire up your lateral core here, back to center, back to high plank. And we're going to do the same thing on the other side. Rotate. I like to put my feet in line with each other. So if you glance down at your feet, I like to do one foot behind the other, so the toes pointing toward the heel. It just makes me feel a little bit more stable. Let's go back to center and go to the other, back to the first side right here. Really strong in the shoulder. And we're gonna finish it out by going to the second side, second time. Spoiler alert, we will be doing side planks today, but we're not going to be holding them. We're going to be moving through them fairly quickly as part of your reps. Okay, lower to the earth. Reach the arms forward, toes toward the back of the room. Let's get 10. Superman's 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Take it back to downward facing dog. Pedal the feet right, left, right, left. Right, left, right, left. All right, bring it back down to the earth. And believe it or not, we're not doing any push-ups today. So we're gonna skip the push-ups in the warm-up. Let's do some, what are these? Scorpions. Scorpions on your front side, crossing one foot over and behind your back, right to left. All right, now go ahead and flip over to your back side and let's do some scorpions on this side. Right to left. This is more of dynamic movement and stretching, so you're just exploring range of motion. Of course, if you wind up in a position that just feels super duper good and you want to stay there for a few moments, please be my guest. All right, so here on your back, let's pick up some long-legged sit-ups. So touch the ground overhead, swing the arms, reach for the toes. With long-legged sit-ups, the idea is that your legs stay straight, both legs stay straight, but obviously if touching the toes is not into your range of motion, then it's okay with me if you put a little bend in the knees, or if you just touch the ankles instead, or maybe you touch the knees. Okay, let's do 10 of these. Swing the arms, reach for the toes. Swing the arms, reach for the toes. Do touch the ground overhead with each sit-up. 3 more. 2 more. 1 more. Nice. If there's anything else on our back. Yes, back burpees. So back burpees are like regular burpees in the sense that you're going from the ground to into the air. But with back burpees, we have the added complexity of it being in reverse. So you're gonna lie down on your back and then using a similar movement to that long-legged sit-up where you're using momentum to bring your upper body forward. It's up to you and up to the flexibility of your hips and knees, whether you want to just swing and roll, follow that momentum forward to come into standing. And then of course you'll do the little hop, or from the back burpee, you can roll over to one side, right? And you can turn it into more of a, more like a little right to left. You could do right to left. So you could, maybe you roll over to one side for one of them and you can use your hand to help you off the ground. And maybe you do the other side and use your hand to help you off the ground. The idea here is fluid movement. And I know that burpees are cumbersome, but that's kind of the idea behind it, isn't it? Is that it's a functional movement going from the ground to standing. And yes, it does take time. But the good news is we're all working for 4 minutes together. And so we're all going to be finished at the exact same time. Okay, go ahead and stand up. Let's do some jumping jacks, shall we? We are going to do some jumping jacks today. A nice classic. I'm pretty sure I don't need to explain how to do jumping jacks because anyone who's been to a PE class has done them. Okay. Also standing. This is one I am going to have to explain because few people do this one. I'm calling these single leg cross body bird peckers. So what it looks like from the side is shifting my body weight to one leg. Yes, you can have a soft bend in that standing leg. You don't need to keep it straight. And then using the opposite hand, you're going to touch the ground, come back to standing. touch the ground, come back to standing. You can do whatever you want with your free limbs, okay? So the floating leg, the floating hand, you're just using for support. So the idea is that you're firing up your posterior chain on your standing leg as you lower and also as you stand. We're also adding the added benefit of a little balance challenge there. Once again, if that feels slow and cumbersome and clunky, it's just building some balance in that dynamic movement. And so the way we're going to do it, this is just a spoiler alert for later on, but these come up in the third AMRAP. My recommendation, you will be doing 10 of these each round. My recommendation is to do 5 on the right and then 5 on the left, rather than going right, left, because then you have to switch legs, switch hands every time. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then I'm gonna switch to my other leg. I'm gonna go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, you get it. So because you've already noticed that there's a balance challenge to it, move at the pace of your balance. So if you find that you're just flinging yourself through this and at no point are you balanced, maybe slow it down a little bit, because you will build that stability and that structural stability in your core, as well as your own proprioception, knowing where your body is in space, if you slow this down just a little bit and maybe decrease the intensity and move through them a little bit more mindfully. Okay, long-legged sit-ups. Let's go back to the ground. Let's find a plank here. So one of the movements we're gonna do today is a strict mountain climber. So this is different from a regular mountain climber where you're just running it out like crazy, right, left, right, left. A strict mountain climber is one where I want you to get your foot all the way up to your hand. And I do want you to be able to plant your foot up by your hand. If your range of motion is not there, maybe you can bring it a little bit further back, but I do want you to plant your foot on the ground at a point towards your hands that is challenging for you, and then step it back, right, left, right, left. All right, so these are not fast. You're not jumping your way through them. They're intentional, and there's some hidden mobility work in there. We're closing it off with that one. Okay. And I know you already know how to do a burpee. Yeah, we're doing regular burpees and back burpees today. I just went burpee crazy, but you know, the good news is you don't have to do any push-ups. So, and I also know you know how to do lunges because we did those last week. So we're gonna get started here with our first AMRAP, and I'm gonna tell you what the movements are right now. AMRAP number 1 is going to be 5 side plank to side plank flows, 10 jumping jacks. 5 side plank to side plank flows, 10 jumping jacks. 5 side plank to side plank flows, 10 jumping jacks. Keep going, keep going, keep going for 4 minutes. What's a side plank to side plank flow? This is what one rep of a side plank to side plank flow looks like. 1, 2, 3, and so on and so forth. You're doing 5 of those. So just to recap, 1 rep is both sides. All right, and then after you do 5, you're gonna stand up and you do 10 jumping jacks. You keep track of your reps, because after you finish those 10, you're gonna put a little check mark on your notebook or in your phone, and then you're gonna get back and you're gonna do 5 more side plank to side plank flows. I'm gonna keep track of the time. We're working together continuously for 4 minutes, and then once I say time, we let our breathing rate slow down, we compare times, we give each other virtual high fives, and then we move on to the next AMRAP. Okay, I'm gonna put you on gallery view because that's fun. If you wanna turn your video on, then like you totally can. If you don't want to, no big deal. But it's kind of fun to watch each other. Yay! Awesome, so fun. I'm so glad you're all here. Penelope, you're outside, I'm jealous. It's shorts weather out there.
Oh yeah, actually I'm like a little worried that that this is gonna be hard because I've already run 4 miles and biked 10 miles to the beach with my kids.
Way to go.
So I was like, I might as well just Stay outside and sweat it out. I'm already totally disgusting.
That's right. Way to go. Oh, I'm so proud of you. Well, and the good news is we're all finished in 4 minutes together regardless.
Right.
That's great about the AMRAP.
Totally.
Good stuff, everyone. Okay. So the first AMRAP, Katie, I think you might have just joined with me because I just saw your video join in. So we're about to get started. So perfect timing. The first AMRAP is going to start here in a few seconds. And what we're doing is 5 side plank to side plank flows. So you'll do side plank, that's 1, side plank, that's 2, and then stand up and do 10 jumping jacks. And then you're going to keep going. 5 side plank to side plank flows, 10 jumping jacks. Keep track of your rounds, and then we'll all come together and we'll compare numbers. All right. You're ready? Starting in 10 seconds. Get your little space figured out. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. 4 minutes of continuous movement. You keep track of your reps. You know, the hardest part of all this is just showing up. Once you're here, you're committed, and everything is just momentum from that point. Keep it up. Already a minute and 15 seconds in. Minute 30, doing great. Two minutes through, you're halfway. Check in with your movement standards. At this point in your workout, it can start to get easy to get sloppy. Can you make every movement as crisp, as clean, as complete as the first movements you did? Here we go, doing great. 3 minutes in, you have 1 minute left. Thirty seconds. Keep it up. Your last 20 seconds right here. Push, push, push all the way through to the end. Six seconds. 2, 1, stop. Okay, tally what you got. And so what you're doing is you're counting complete rounds plus the little extra reps you got at the end. I finished my 5 little side planks, so I'm doing a little plus 5 at the end. Or so as I'm writing it, I got 6 rounds, so I have little 6 tally marks, and then I have a plus 5 there because I did the 5 side planks. So I would love to hear from you. How did you do? 4-minute AMRAP, 5 side plank flows, 10 jumping jacks. I want to hear from you.
I got 7 reps or 7 sets.
Way to go. Did you finish right at 7 or did you get any extras?
My last jumping jacks were really fast, right at 7.
Nice. Nice. Good job. Way to go. All right.
Exact same for me. I had 7 and like sped through those last few jumping jacks.
Nice, Penelope. That's awesome. Zara, how'd you do?
I had 6 rounds and 2 planks.
We were so close. We were neck and neck. Erin, Paige?
Came out the gate too strong, gonna die the rest of the time, but I did 9 rounds.
Nice. Way to go. No, you'll do great. You set a good pace. Paige, how'd you do?
6.
Nice.
I finished right on time.
Right on time. Way to go. Katie, how'd you do?
I had 7 exactly.
Way to go. That's awesome. All you ladies with 7, you were right on track. That's awesome. Okay. So, quick little PSA. As you have already figured out, you do not have to work for all 4 minutes. If you want to take a little 5-second break, 10-second breather, maybe you take time for 3 full breaths in between each round. However you want to do your breaks, if you want to do your breaks, is totally up to you. Listen to your body, pay attention to your output, and know that 4 minutes is 4 minutes, right? It's not short, but it's also not long. All right. The next AMRAP is our repeat from last week. We are doing 5 burpees and 10 lunges. So if you have data from last week it was, hold on one second. I can tell you which one it was. Give me a second. I can tell you if it was the first, second, third, or fourth.
Second one.
It was the second one? Thank you. Yep, it was the second one. Merci. Let me get back to Zoom. Here you are. Okay, so it's the second one. So last week I got 5 rounds plus 2. So take a look at your number and I want you to try to beat it. All right, because you have a data point. You know that you can do whatever your score was last week. Let's say you do one rep more. You got this, you can do this. So shoot for that. And if you don't have data from last week, that's okay, just do your best. All right, and we're gonna start in 10 seconds. 5 burpees, 10 lunges, starting in 3, 2, 1, go. One minute, 3 to go. Five burpees, 10 lunges. Almost halfway, almost halfway. There's 2 minutes. You're doing great. The end is in sight. Three minutes, 1 minute left. I just beat my time. "30 seconds, push, push, push." "15 seconds. Three, two, one, time. Oh my goodness. Tally up your score. Give me a second. Penelope, how'd you do?
That was tough. I did 5 plus 3, but I did a lot of my burpees like full push-ups,
Okay.
which definitely slowed me down.
Yeah, that'll do that. Did you beat your time from beat your score from last week?
You know what? My papers inside, if I remember
Okay.
correctly, I think last week was 5 plus 6, but I don't know that I did like the full push-up burpees, so
Totally.
I
Way
feel
to
like
go.
effort-wise it was more.
Nice. Nice. I beat my score from last week by a whole round. So last week I had 5 plus 2. Today I did 6 plus 3. Working way harder. Couldn't have done it without all of you. All right. Erin, what was your score?
I did 5 full rounds and then finished the burpees on the 6th round. So like 5 and a
Nice.
half.
5 plus 5. And you, how does that compare with last week?
I wasn't here last week, so I don't
You were
know.
here last week. Okay. I saw you in yoga though, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, awesome. Zara, how'd you do?
I completed 4 full rounds this week.
Nice. Did you beat your score?
I did.
Way to go. That's awesome. Sophia, how'd you do?
3 rounds plus 8. So this week I actually just barely killed it. But yes, I've
Yes.
been.
Count it. That's the great thing about keeping data from the past, because it gives you facts. It tells you that you did do this amount, which means that you can do just a little bit more. Sophia, how'd you do?
Pretty good. I was 1 lunge short of 6 rounds. Yeah.
So 5 plus 14. Nice.
Okay, 14.
Paige, how'd you do?
I beat mine. I was 5 plus 5 last time, and I did 6, but my last lunge was not good. So
That's okay.
I don't think anyone would count it.
You're honest. It's okay. You beat your score either way. Way to go. That's awesome.
Yeah.
And Katie, how'd you do?
I had 5 plus 1 burpee, which beats
Awesome.
last week of 3. So that was good.
Amazing. Dude, you killed that. 2 full rounds over. That's fantastic. Awesome. Way to go, everyone. Okay, that's our only repeat. So that I like to sprinkle in a repeat just because, like I said, you're comparing yourself to your historical version of yourself, which is honestly the only healthy thing to do, right? Rather than comparing yourself to other people. Okay, so the third round is, or the third AMRAP, movements of the third AMRAP are 5 back burpees, 10 of those single leg cross body bird peckers. So just to recap before we get started, a back burpee looks like this. Lay all the way down on your back. Any way you want to, get into the air, jump. I like to do a little hop in the air. Some people like to clap overhead. Some people like to clap and do a hop. You do whatever you want to do. Those are your back burpees, 5 of those. And then we're transitioning to 10 single leg crossbody bird peckers. Just as a reminder, I am going to do 5 on the right, 5 on the left. So we're using opposite hand as foot to tap the ground. We're using our free limbs to stabilize and to maintain our balance. All right. These are not going to be a sprint. Okay. These might slow you down just a little bit. That's okay. We're all starting together and we're all ending together, and that's really fun. Okay.
So same.
Oh, sorry, did you have a question?
Same leg that you're lifting up off the ground is the same hand that is pecking on the ground?
Opposite.
Okay, thanks.
Does that feel more stable?
Yes.
Good. Fantastic. Yeah, opposite hand as foot. Okay. Gonna get my timer. Starting in 5. 5 back burpees, 10 crossbody bird peckers. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. 5 back burpees, 10 crossbody bird peckers. Get a feel for the movement. Maybe you spend the first round feeling it out. These are new movements. Oh, geez. Balancing is so hard. I gotta tell you, I would not be doing this if not for all of you. And something tells me you would not be doing this if not for all of us as well. So I'm proud of all of us for keeping each other accountable, giving us all a reason to do this on a Monday. Because I'm always so glad when I do this. Afterward, not necessarily during. Almost 2 minutes. That's 2 minutes. Hello, hamstrings. Two and a half minutes. down, 1 to go. Left, 20 seconds left. Keep moving. Five, 4, 3, 2, 1. Stop. Tally your score. Slow down your breathing rate. I hope you don't mind all the grunting that I did during that one. That was hard. All those burpees kill me. Okay, Penelope, where are you at?
I'm at seriously fatigued body. I got 4 plus 5. I hate back burpees. It's like I just loathe them.
Is it just like the strange awkwardness of the movement, or is there a
I think
joint
it's
that bothers you?
Feel so sloppy, and then just like I get motion sickness really easily, so like the up down starts to make me feel like a little woozy.
Totally. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah. And then when you add in heavy breathing and sweat, it's like, okay, now I'm nauseous. Yeah. That's brutal. Well, the good news is we're over.
Super duper thankful for you, because I would not be doing this if it were
exactly. That's what I was saying. Like I would never do this in my own living room. I would never work this hard. No, that's why we need each other.
Totally.
I did 5 rounds plus 5, and I hated every second of it. Erin, how'd you do?
I got exactly 5 rounds.
Nice. Way to go. Did you prefer, or which did you detest more, the back burpees or the the bird peckers?
Definitely burpees.
Yeah.
Burpees of all kinds are not my friend.
We hate those. Oh man. And you're getting a double duty today.
Yeah.
Zara, how about you? What was your score, Zara?
I got 3 rounds plus 5 back burpees.
Way to go. Yeah, you're like me. You finished on those back burpees. It's like, man, I finished the back burpees, but I don't even get a round to count for it. Brutal. Sophia, how'd you do?
I did 5 exactly.
5 exactly. Fantastic. You and Erin.
Yeah.
And Katie.
I had 3 rounds plus 2 back burpees.
You and Zara. You were like neck and neck. That's awesome. Way to go. We're going to do a head-to-head video. Okay. Starting our 4th and final AMRAP. I have, I'm changing it up just a little bit, because this time, instead of 5 and 10, we're doing 10 and 20. But don't be scared. We're still only moving for 4 minutes. And so it's basically the same, amount of work, but just a slightly different rep scheme. And the reason I did that, you will understand, is because mountain climbers seem a little bit incomplete when you only have to do 10, in my opinion. So we're doing 10 long-legged sit-ups and 20 strict mountain climbers. So we did those in our warm-up, but just to remind you, the long-legged sit-up is touching the ground overhead, swinging the arms, and touching the toes. Just to do long-legged sit-up, and then you're going to stand up. You're going to flip it over. You don't have to stand up. And 20 strict mountain climbers. So you're stepping a foot forward, back, forward, back. Right counts as 1, left counts as 1. So you don't have to do both to get 1 round. So 10 long-legged sit-ups, 20 strict mountain climbers, and that finishes up our 4th and final AMRAP for the day. So go ahead and find your mat. Starting in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. 10 long-legged sit-ups, 20 strict mountain climbers. Minute 15, minute 15. Halfway through. Oh, keep it up. Less than 2 minutes to go. Ah. 3 minutes. You have 1 minute left. Push, push, push all the way to the end. Can you get one more full round? Ten seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Time. Man, counting to 20 is hard. Oh, 20 feels like so much more than 10. That is crazy. Penelope, how'd you do?
I did 3 plus 6, but I did have a small break when I sent one kid off on her bike with a friend, and the other kid woke up from her nap in the bike burly thing. So I was pulled offline temporarily, but 3 plus 6, and it was super hard.
That's a hard one. Yeah, I like that. So if that's the one we repeat next week, then you'll have to send another kid out on a bike and wake someone up from the nap. Yeah.
I'm just gonna crush it next week.
Yeah.
I'm also not gonna run and bike before your class ever again.
Fair enough. Yeah, you definitely get bonus points for that. I did exactly 4 rounds. So I basically held strong at 1 round per minute. So that felt good. Erin, how'd you do?
I thought those strict mountain climbers were going to be easy, and then my abs were crying after 10 reps every time. Totally. So I got through 3 rounds exactly.
Nice. Way to go. Way to go. Yeah, those are gnarly. Those stack up quickly because 20 is a higher volume for sure. Zara, how'd you do?
I got 2 rounds, 10 sit-ups, and now 9 strict mountain climbers.
Nice. You were breathing down the neck for that 3rd round.
Yeah, those mountain climbers really get to you real fast.
Right? I feel it in my hip flexors.
I feel it. My wrists aren't very strong, and so I feel it trying to keep myself out there.
Yeah. There's a lot of joints going on with those mountain climbers. All right, Sophia, how'd you
do? I got 3 plus 15.
Nice. Almost there. Or actually, you and Zara were right neck and neck. That's
No,
awesome.
she was an entire round ahead of me, but
Oh.
thank you for giving me.
Nice. And then Katie, how'd you do?
I had 3 rounds and then 10 of the long legs sit-ups.
Nice. Way to go. So good, everyone. That's awesome. Here's a poll for the day. What would you say over all the movements today, which movement was your favorite and which movement was your least favorite? And while we talk about that, we can stretch out. I'm going to sit in butterfly because I'm going to stretch out my hip flexors here. So I want to hear from you. Favorite movement of today and least favorite movement of today. Let's hear it.
I love the long-legged sit-ups because they're like a great stretch combined with a like ab workout.
Totally.
And I hate anything with shoulders in it.
So the mountain climbers and the
burpees. Yeah,
totally. Yeah, awesome. Thanks, Katie. What else?
I loved the side plank flow. That could be possibly influenced by the fact that I felt the freshest.
Yes.
But no, I really genuinely like that. I felt like it was a lot of shoulders, like good obliques, just a good total body movement. So I loved that. I mean, I could never do a back burpee again and I wouldn't be sad.
Fair enough. Yep. And I like your commentary on the side plank flow, spoken like a true Pilates instructor. All right. If you want to move into a lunge, I've got my back knee down and then I've got my left foot forward, but just still stretching out that hip flexor. Who else?
I also really liked the plank flows. I felt like it was like a challenge, but it wasn't brutal. Like I wasn't dead at the end.
Totally.
And burpees, I can always leave burpees.
Totally. I think we can all agree that none of us would ever do burpees if not for like this accountability. Go ahead and switch legs.
I definitely have to be forced into burpees. I would never do them by choice.
Amen. Zara, favorite, least favorite?
I would probably have to say the long-legged sit-ups as well. I just enjoy those. I feel like I'm like really going somewhere because I'm reaching for my toe. I don't know. It's a weird.
I like that.
And so I like that. I think I really struggled with those bird peckers. And so I was not a fan of those guys.
Yep. Yeah, those are challenging because they slow you down. And Sophia, how about you? Favorite, least favorite?
I think I'm kind of different than a lot of people. I loved round 3. And I like the back burpees and I forget what you call them, peckers. I did a ton of those for physical therapy for my ankle. And so I got to be quite a pro. They made me do so many, but I love them. So
yeah,
my favorite. And I can't stand mountain climbers. I just will never get used to them.
Yeah, I'm with you. I don't like the mountain climbers either. I would say those are my least favorites. And then I think my favorite, I like lunges. So anything lunge oriented, even though like it gets you burning, I feel like I'm doing work on my glutes when I do my lunges. So that was my favorite. Hey, thank you so much for joining me, for taking part of your Monday to hang out with me. I said it during the workout, but I would never do this if not for all of you. And so I so look forward to getting to spend this time together every week.